right, well, good morning. We're here. Time to get loaded up. All right, guys, we're gonna fire it up. Pre-trip's finished. Fluid levels are good. We're gonna do our exterior walk around here in a second, check all our lights. We do have a small air leak. I think it's this air chuck that's next to me, the blowgun that's hooked up to the seat air. That way it can we can blow out the floor or whatever else we need to. So we'll get her fired up. See, guys, we have one of these, and then we can just get all the dirt out. We are gonna set off here from Jeannette and go to Newell, West Virginia to load at the Ergon terminal. We will probably make our way to Virginia through Bentleyville again and top off our fuel, maybe get a truck wash depending on what the line's like. So hope you had a great weekend. The family and I, we visited the Pittsburgh Zoo. They have a display there. Asian Lantern Festival. My apologies. It was awesome. Luke loved it. Now we're counting down to this weekend, and I'm getting married. It's our wedding this weekend, Saturday the 18th. Haven't really shown much of the home life yet, but we will definitely get to that. So I appreciate the support so far in the first 2 or 3 weeks here that I've started this. Plenty of views, subscribers are going up. That's good. Hopefully the tank world isn't too boring for everybody, but we'll try and keep it interesting. So we'll get over there and we'll show you some of Pittsburgh too, because I think I'm going to go in through the parkway since it's mid-morning now. All the rush hour should be over. So. All right, we are getting on the Pennsylvania Turnpike here at exit 67, the Irwin interchange. And we'll be going west to Monroeville, which is exit 57. We'll be there. All right, exit 57. This gets us off into Monroeville, and we get on the Parkway East. And that takes us right through downtown Pittsburgh and out the other side. There's a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, and some people just can't obey that, I guess. I don't know. And see how unsafe that is? That guy cut all the way across, and now he's getting off onto the business end of Route 22. So he just blew past all of us and cut across. Don't be that guy. Well, this is the Squirrel Hill Tunnels on the east side of Pittsburgh, and as usual, people were slowing down before they get to the tunnels for no reason. I guess people have a phobia that the tunnels are closing in on them, or maybe they're smaller lanes than what is out here, but in fact it's the same size. In the morning during rush hour, this will back up for 2 miles from everybody riding up here, slamming on their brakes, and then continuing in. It's just a residual backup. Absolutely no reason that we should be going 20 miles an hour through here. Yep, so look now, wide open, no traffic whatsoever. Down the hill you can see there's no one in mind. Get a pretty good shot of Pittsburgh when you come around the corner there. It's actually the U.S. Steel Tower. UPMC has the rights to the advertising on it. I guess they bought the space. Now we're in the bathtub section here. The main downtown is over to our right. For those of you that watched last week's video when I was in Philadelphia, they have a section just like this. Now we're going to head on the Parkway West and go through the Fort Pitt tunnels. So we're gonna climb the hill here, and our next exit will be off to Route 30. I don't know if you can see, guys, we're getting off our exit, and a big plane's taking off there. So we're right here at the end of the runway for the Pittsburgh International Airport. It's out here in Moon Township. Getting off the Parkway and heading over to Route 30. Well, crossed into West Virginia here for a little bit at least. Route 30 westbound. We're only about 15 minutes away now. Start down the other side of this hill, and then we'll get off Route 30 before the river when it crosses back into Ohio and the town of East Liverpool. So we'll stay on the West Virginia side of the river and head south. Yep, right here is the Route 2 that we normally bring up from Weirton. Make our way down from the north side. About 4.5 miles. So we just passed the sign for Newell, West Virginia, established 1905. Just under a mile to the Ergon terminal here. We're going to have to scale in, get a lightweight, and then ride over loading area. Now this is the entrance to the loading area. Well, we're gonna skip it. We gotta go down to the next entrance and take a lightweight. All right, we're on the scale. We're gonna walk over to that little building where it says 0 stumbles and check in with the security guards. All right, got the lightweight. Hopefully they're not too busy here. One in our rack. I was looking at the petroleum rack, so we'll have to wait a little bit, no worries. All right, we got our heavyweight, we're on the way. We're about an hour and a half from Bentleyville to get our fuel and see what the truck wash looks like, and then we will be heading out. All right, we made it down here to Weirton. This is the outskirts here. I don't know exactly what this foundry is called, but it's pretty big. I don't know if they just refer to it as Weirton Steel or what, but some rail cars over there with coils on them. Pretty big coils too. Left here to cut across over to Route 22. Alright, making it on to 22 East here. This is a pretty rough hill, but pretty much straight up from here. We're not going to be able to gain any more speed, so we'll just kick the four ways on now. That way people coming up behind us from across the river are able to get around me pretty safely. They do give us this right lane here as a climbing lane. It's a truck lane, so we're not going to hold anything up. Ooh, finally crested the top, and we're gaining some speed now. Drop down the other side. We were off of Route 22 and getting on 18. Right here on the right, guys, is the KeyBank Pavilion. It used to be called First Niagara Pavilion and Star Lake Amphitheater, but this is oh, I'm sorry, look, the new sign says the Pavilion at Star Lake. Okay, I guess we got another name change. But they do a lot of concerts there. It's a really great venue. They have some stadium seats undercover, and then, you know, a big lawn section. So, been to quite a few country concerts there. They sell what they call the Country Mega Ticket, and they do about a dozen shows on it every summer. And then right here on the right is the Pepsi Cola Roadhouse. This is a smaller indoor venue that some people, big names, used to get scheduled at and perform. This is just 2-lane roads down to City of Washington, so it kind of holds us up a little bit, but it's better than trying to combat Pittsburgh traffic when you're loaded at this point in the afternoon. So I like to go down around Pittsburgh if I'm loaded at this point in the afternoon. It's almost just about 2 o'clock now. So those tunnels will start backing up right around 2 o'clock, 2:30, when the first round of employees are leaving the city or trying to get into the city for their second shift. So just skip it all together. Better off in the long run. Well, we were making pretty good time. We caught up to some kind of crew that's spraying the trees with something.
Slow moving traffic, only speed about.
Well, they finally realized that there's 3 miles of traffic behind them and they could pull off. So now we'll keep going, I guess. Oh well. Gotta stay positive, stay focused here. It's not the end of the world. It's tough driving, guys, when you get caught up in the moment like that and get frustrated and maybe lose your temper pretty quickly, but that's one of my personal battles, is to take a breath and relax and just remember that it's out of your control, and you getting mad and acting out doesn't change anything. But we got about 3 miles, I think, until we're in downtown Washington, and then we'll be jumping on Interstate 70. So all right, we're working on getting up to Interstate 70 here. This is a brand new red light at this intersection. It used to just be a turning lane and hope for the best, but they actually put a traffic light with an arrow on it for the people getting off of 18 in Washington and getting on Interstate 70. On here because we will not be getting up to any kind of speed, unfortunately. There's that little hump right there from the bridge that really rocks the truck back and sets us behind. Shut them off, put our left turn signal on. About, I think it's about 15 miles to Bentleyville, and we'll have to see how busy the whole restaurant is, if we're going to grab Subway or not. But we're getting there, slow but sure. Alright guys, we made it to the roundabout. They just drive right on by, don't worry about me. line for the beacon is out to the end, so we will not be getting our truck washed today. Maybe tomorrow on our way home through Breezewood, but definitely not today. So let's get over here, get some fuel, and fingers crossed Subway's line isn't too long either. All right, guys, we were able to get some quick Subway, and we are getting back on Interstate 70, heading for New Stanton, and then the Pennsylvania Turnpike to Breezewood, so we can continue the Interstate 70 route down to Route 522. Let's get there. All right. Jumping on Interstate 70, 76, eastbound. That's a nice Peterbilt. Oh yeah. All black. Tiger Carriers. Yeah, remember last week we had that guy kind of pull a U-turn on us here, so we'll have to see if if anybody else is confused today. I don't know, we're all clear. Now we'll be uphill all the way to Somerset. Alright guys, we're making it in the Somerset Tunnel here. I jumped onto my buddy's channel, Just Trucking, and was watching his live feed, talking to him for a little bit. He's down in Virginia Beach unloading, so I'm not sure if we'll get to meet up with him tonight or not, with us being in Lynchburg, but usually more than likely he'll try and head home and be closer to his family. This tunnel's a little tricky. It's 55 miles an hour through the tunnel, and then they want you at 45 when you exit because of the turn, the sharp turn at the end. And then it's 55 all the way down the hill to the flats. 5 miles, sorry. Like this guy, he's just does whatever he wants in CR England. We're at the 123 over 5 at the exit, and then we gotta zigzag down the hill here and keep it at right around 55 because the troopers do sit around these corners and watch the traffic behind them come around. So we definitely don't want to be getting any tickets today. We'll catch up with you in a little bit. Alright guys, we're getting off here, exit 161 for Breezewood. Really got to take it easy around this turn because it is a hairpin turn. And again with these liquids, really got to take it easy. Well under the speed limit. To the toll booth here. Doesn't look like too much construction. That's good. I think they're all finished with their improvements here. Spots here, guys like to park and take their breaks. Also a good spot for the DOT officers to do their inspections on. But somebody had a video on Facebook in a group about a truck that went off of this exit ramp here over the weekend. We'll have to see here if we can make out where they went over. Right about where that green truck is ahead of us. Looks like they just went straight off into the TA parking lot. Man, this Breezewood is backed up. This interchange here is always goofy, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see anywhere where that guy went off. Now we're gonna have to take some time to get down to the red light. So if you can see this, guys, usually these two lanes here both go to 70 East, and then there's a third turning lane on the inside to go up into the Flying J truck stop. So this is usually congested here, but this construction here in the middle lane is really putting a damper on it. So we're going to hang out here for a second. It looks like they're picking up the cones and getting ready to wrap up. So let's hope that's the case, and then we'll be able to use this lane. All right, we're through it. Taking 70 East. We're gonna be climbing Town Hill in a minute. Get to the other side of that, and we'll take the left exit for 522 South towards Berkeley Springs. We have about just under 4 hours left, guys. This is gonna be still a long ride, but we're getting there. Remember, this stretch here between Breezewood and the state line is only 55. As a matter of fact, the last time we came down through here, there was a trooper that had a car pulled over right here underneath this bridge. Man, it's still 84 degrees outside. I was hoping once the sun got down a little further, I'd be able to roll the windows down and enjoy the cool air, but it doesn't look like it's giving up anytime soon. Twice last week I was able to sleep with my truck off and the windows open, and cool breeze was nice. It was in the low 60s 2 nights last week. I don't think we'll be getting any of that this week. It's our sign for 1 mile left. But this is the Maryland line. We're open for business. Take this all the way down to Route 37, and then 37 over to 81. 81 south to 64. This is the little town of Berkeley Springs. I tried to get some good footage coming out of here last time, but the phone was malfunctioning and shutting down every couple seconds when I was trying to record. But this is the main street through town. There's a couple little antique stores here. There's a pretty nice park down at the other end here. Morgan County Courthouse, Morgan County, West Virginia. There's a park with a swimming pool over there. It's the actual state park. Down here a little further, guys, is where we saw those football players the last time and stuff, so you guys are pretty familiar with that. But we'll check in again when we're going down on the Route 37. All right, we made it into Virginia. There's a pretty nice gas station down here on the right-hand side, Liberty, that we're gonna stop at and get a couple beverages for the night. Realized I had my lunch packed, but I don't have anything to drink with it, so I'm gonna grab some iced tea or something. It's still 82 degrees on the thermometer here, but I'm hoping to see some pretty good deer movement down through here. Probably won't along 81, but this little stretch of 522 here from Berkeley Springs to 37 is really nice. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled and looking over towards the tree lines for the deer that are hanging out in the shade. Yeah, guys, right down here on the right, just since I stopped that last clip, I've counted 3 down in a little drainage here on the right. Looked like possibly 2 yearlings, and then just one doe by herself, a couple yards up the cut a little bit. I think once we climb this hill and start on the flat, we'll be able to see that gas station. We'll stop right here. It says trucks and diesel up this way. So they have a little side entrance for the big trucks. I've stopped here once before on a vacation trip, but never in a semi-truck, so. We're just gonna pull on through and run in and get something to drink. Alright guys, we're back on the road. I forgot my phone to go in there, but they have kind of like a little MTO section. They make their own pizzas and subs. Would have been nice to grab a slice of pie, but I got some leftovers from yesterday to eat, so I'll be waiting until I stop and then I'll be having my dinner. We got about 3 hours left, 190 miles. So we will see you guys in a little bit. All right, we're on Route 37 around Winchester here, over to 81. It's only about 7 miles, 6.5 miles, I think. Greatest addition since I've been here last is the lines on the road. At least we have painted lines now to mark the lanes, and it's not so much of a free-for-all, so that's a lot safer. There's a couple whitetail over there in that field off of that little drainage pond. Hoping that Interstate 81 isn't congested like it normally is. It's kind of late in the day. It's almost 7 o'clock. I'm hoping that it's thinned out by now and we're able to make good time. Alright, we made it on to 81. We got about 86 miles, I think, until Interstate 64 goes east. So far, this traffic looks light. I haven't looked on the GPS yet to see if there's any congestion ahead of us, but we should be good to go. Fingers crossed. All right, guys, we got the weigh station open here southbound, so we're gonna come down to about 40 miles an hour there, it says. One tanker's going over to get weighed right now. second truck's going over to get weighed. And we need to get weighed, okay. So we're gonna pull in line here. Lower driver's window and cut off all radios before pulling on the scales. All right, CB's off. What happens with the liquids, guys, is the scales, when you bounce over them, sometimes it sets the scale off that you're overweight. So it's happened before going through a toll plaza where they thought I was overweight, but in fact I was well under. It's just because I bounced on the scale first. We got the green light. Thanks, fellas. Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna pick our speed back up and get on the road. Let's do it. All right, guys, we're on Route 29 here. We got a pretty good trek yet to go. So we will stay focused here. I'm not going to record much just because of the darkness and the terrain here, in case anything decides they want to walk across in front of me. But I will check back in once we get to our destination at the customer and wrap the video up for tonight. I don't think I'm going to make a separate video tomorrow. I think I'm just going to wrap it all into one, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, it's just gonna probably be just one video for these both days, for these days. So we will check back in with you once we get down to Forest. All right, guys, so we're wrapped up here for the day. It's late, it's after 10 o'clock now. I'm gonna fire up the microwave, reheat some leftover pizza, and call it a night. So thanks for following along today. We will continue this video tomorrow and finish with unloading and then driving home. So there was somebody parked over next to the tanks, which kind of threw me for a loop because that's the first time that's ever happened. But we will, I just pulled over here on the side and closed my curtains up. We're done. So like I said, thanks for following me today, and we'll catch you tomorrow. All right, good morning, guys. We are checked in. The other truck over there is actually getting unloaded, so we're gonna pull down to the left, back up in, because we unload off the passenger side on this trailer. So it's a mid-unload, same trailer I had last week. So we can't just pull through and unload off the back like we have here previously. So we're gonna get set up and we'll check back in here in a minute. All right, guys, so we have our little hose today because our trailer is lucky enough to have a fitting right here rather than just up the top. So we're gonna connect our hose ends, our Chicago fittings, and like that. Grab our second one, like that. Then we'll make it up top and we'll get the seal off and open up the dome lid. So this little piece of hose, this is just a placeholder for it, so it doesn't get any damage, doesn't get anything inside. So that comes off, and we're going to connect that directly to the Christmas tree when we get ready. All right, so the truck's all set up, ready to go. I have the airline connected like you see. I cleaned out the top, got the dome lid ready to go. Now we just wait for the lab technicians to come out and do our samples. So unfortunately, that's the waiting game now. Usually not too long, not more than a half hour or so, but we're gonna chill here and enjoy the sunrise. Maybe grab a granola bar or something. All right, guys, so we have everything open and running. This is how the PTO works. Like I said, that shaft comes off, spins, runs the compressor, and the air goes into the tank. So we got about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, hour and 15 minutes at the most, and we'll be empty. All right, guys, sorry we missed the unload there, dealing with some personal stuff. We're on our way home. We are doing the same thing tomorrow, so we'll just go ahead and end the video here. We have about 7.5 hours or so to get back to home in Jeanette, and calling it a night. Start back up tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. If you could, please like, subscribe, tell your friends like I always say, and catch you on the next one.